Disney's Aladdin in 1992 was the fourth animated film produced during what is now known as the Disney Renaissance era. We access this film through a family member subscription to Disney Plus, a subscription streaming service operated by the Walt Disney Company. We want to explore a less talked about perspective of the film Aladdin. We will explore how socioeconomic inequality is portrayed, and we will compare and contrast how Agrabah is portrayed inside and outside of the palace. We will also focus on Disney's character trajectory, particularly the diamond in the rough motif, and his transformation from a street rat to a member of the ruling class. We will finish off talking about why this is important to analyze and its implications in the children's film genre. This is how Agrabah is presented. The light shines on the palace and overshadows the rest of the kingdom. In this first scene, the merchant is presented as overselling the items in his shop, and Dan stands in front of us when we try to leave. So this first scene is already portraying the people of Agrabah as greedy and untrustworthy. This character is also racialized, since he is portrayed as a dark-skinned man with a Middle Eastern accent, unlike other characters like Jasmine. Throughout the film, the people of Agrabah that have no relationship to the palace or to the ruling class members are only shown to complement the main plotline. The song One Jump Ahead shows that the kingdom is heavily militarized by Jafar's men. This therefore shows that the people of Agrabah are not being ignored by the ruling class, but the Sultan and the royal vizier are intentionally maintaining their control over them. But Jafar, being the main villain, is the only one vilified for this in the movie.
The Cave of Wonders exclusively allows access to someone who is quote-unquote the diamond in the rough. Aladdin's alleged moral superiority in comparison to his lower class counterparts is supposed to pit him as the diamond in the rough. This is shown by his capacity for empathy, by even giving up his own bread to two children on the streets. But this notion is very problematic. The motif implicitly characterizes other low-income people in Agrabah as unethical and less worthy, meaning that only Aladdin, the diamond in the rough, is moral, and this is inherently classist. The film places members of the royal family and their associates into a system that privileges affluence and power, but this system is never called into question. Jafar, the Sultan's advisor, is seen disguised as an old man trying to manipulate and exploit Aladdin for his own personal gain. He's trying to coerce him into going into the Cave of Wonder. Jafar says, "Whoever has the gold makes the rules." This demonstrates the hierarchy of power based on wealth in Agrabah. Disguised Jafar is trying to make a deal with Aladdin. He says, "I need a young pair of legs and a strong back to go in after it." He's trying to manipulate him. He's trying to exploit Aladdin, a representative of low-income people in Agrabah, for his own gain, for his own expansion of his wealth and power. So Jasmine's depiction in the movie is that she's different from the rest of the palace. She wants to escape from these societal pressures and expectations that come with being a part of the royal family. But she's no different from the rest of the palace. Here you see her hand a boy an apple while saying, "You must be hungry, here you go." At this point in the movie, you've seen the starving children of Agrabah twice, and they are not mentioned again. They are long forgotten by Princess Jasmine. She's only concerned with her own issues, even though she has a lot of power. Here in this scene, you see that she's talking to Aladdin, and she's trying to compare how she feels trapped in the palace to his feeling trapped as a low-income person in Agrabah, which again shows her disconnect with reality and shows how selfish she is.
Aladdin goes from being treated very poorly by everyone in Agrabah and being called a street rat to becoming a member of the ruling class. In the song Prince Ali, Aladdin shows that he wants to be a little different than the other despot rulers that he would cause trouble for in the past. Instead of shooing little kids away from his path and threatening them, he throws money at people. The genie makes sure to get the word out that he is generous, so generous, and then proceeds to enthusiastically sing about how he has all of these riches, monkeys, and slaves. He also does not use any of his wishes or influence with the Sultan to work to dismantle the system that oppresses him or distribute the Sultan's wealth. He focuses on self-serving actions, which is his quest to win Jasmine's love and affection. He could have made the lives of the people of Agrabah so much better. Once Aladdin is down to his third wish, he finds himself in internal conflict. He is afraid of his previous identity being discovered and losing Jasmine. He therefore breaks his promise to the genie to free him from his life of servitude. This scene is meant to show how power corrupts and how Aladdin has fallen into the greedy and evil world of the ruling class.
The film ends with the Sultan changing the law, enabling Jasmine to marry whomever she wants. Again, this illustrates the power and authority that the Sultan has had during the entire film, but willingly refuses to use to help the citizens of Agrabah. Disney Plus, the on-demand ad-free streaming service, has Aladdin as one of the top kids movies to watch. Quote, studies have shown that by the time kids are 12, they've internalized a lot of American ideas about class, like poor people are lazy and rich people are smart and hardworking, end quote. Aladdin presenting the poor people of Agrabah as less worthy in comparison to Aladdin, the quote-unquote diamond in the rough, is entrenching classist and harmful beliefs in children. It perpetuates the idea that social climbing is the goal, as opposed to tackling the ruling class's power and inaction in the first place.